Imagine if I listen what a hater gotta say. I never give a broke bitch any time of day. You ugly when you jealous, bitch. Look at that face. I'm hot right now when you're not, okay?
So we're going to be starting our podcast number 3. We are going to be turning comments off. Feel free to look at us to hear the podcast. We don't have the best setting. We're just starting out, so bear with us. In time, we're going to get better.
Even though the comments are off, everybody, please tap the screen and share the live.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Tap the screen, share the live out. 15 minutes before we close, we are going to be opening the comments. So make sure you guys keep tapping and keep sharing. The more people we have in here, the better. So what's the topic for today? Are you a narcissist? Probably.
Yeah, I think we all are in some way.
Are you a narcissist? That's the question. Probably. So a narcissist is a personality disorder, honestly. It's a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance about themselves. They have to feel superior to everything. They have to feel better than anyone else. They have to enhance their career when they're not up there yet. So those are all signs of narcissists. Being arrogant is a sign of a narcissist. What other pointers do you have? Feeling entitled. Feeling entitled is part of it. Having lack of empathy is a sign of being a narcissist. And they always must be admired at all times. They brag about themselves. So these are all signs, and we could go on and on and on with the signs of being a narcissist, right? Everyone has their personal experiences with dealing with a narcissist. So anyways, I think that being a narcissist is pretty much calculated, honestly. Everybody has different pointers, different opinions. This is solely our opinion and our background and what we know of being a narcissist. We are not licensed therapists, and definitely we are not physicians by any means. So if you need help, seek a physician. Do you want to say something, Jimmy?
No, you're totally right. I really feel like there's narcissists and different types of people. Sometimes people don't realize it. They don't see themselves as a narcissist, so they'll probably be like, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
But in some type of way, I think all of us as humans have some type of narcissism in us. And that's just because maybe we've been through traumatic times in our life, like abandonment or, some kind of self-low esteem or something, so they're striving for that attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways of being a narcissist, and we might not be a big narcissist, but I think some way down the line, I think we all have those tendencies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they actually, when you bump into a narcissist, they actually pretty much not court you, but they get very close to you so they could get a sense of your weaknesses and your strength. So all that comes in play. They will gaslight you, they will love bomb you, they will do anything in their power to draw you more to them. So do you want to share an experience that you had with a narcissist?
Yeah. So I had a relationship with a person, and this person was really good at manipulating people. He manipulated me so bad that I was really blindsided by love and attention. And, once I became blindsided, it took a big spin. You know what I mean? But by then I was already brainwashed. You know what I mean? I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, how could I just believe everything they said? And what's crazy about it is because, a narcissist will always blame you to look like good. they're the good thing.
They
You
will
know,
make you
they
look
don't take
crazy.
responsibilities for
Yes.
any of the actions that they do. And
Yes.
then they're not always mean to everybody else. They're mean to you. So then they can make it seem like you're the surroundings, that you're the bad person. You know,
Yes.
so there's a bunch of times where people, you know, will actually come and just, you know, take over your life. Like I said, he was
Mm-hmm.
manipulative. He was, you know, he ended up being abusive. So even with abuse, you know, the manipulation he had was, it was your fault that I did that because the way you dress, I don't want people looking at you, you know, or something, you know what I mean? Or you wore too much
Yeah.
makeup and, you know, people were looking, guys were looking at you. And then you're like, oh my God, like, shouldn't I wear not makeup because I don't want guys looking at me because I'm in a relationship? It took me to
Yeah.
the point where I lowered my self-esteem, you know, like, you know, where I didn't want, well, I don't want guys to look at me. I'm in a relationship, so I'm not going to wear these kind of clothes, or I'm not going to wear this kind of makeup, you know. And it
Yeah.
wasn't that. It was his manipulation, low self-esteem, and his narcissistic ways. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, you know, that was just the top of the iceberg, you know, going into that
Mm-hmm.
relationship. But I mean, it was to the point where it was manipulation to where, oh, like, you know, you don't need to be around your family. They don't do nothing for you. I'm the one that's here for you. I'm the one that's, you know, when you need somebody, you know, you come to me. Well, of course we're in a relationship, but you know, but it made it seem like everyone in the world around me abandoned me, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, it was a big crazy situation. It was something I look for in red flags now.
Those are
But
big
yeah,
red
people,
flags.
and to this day I still understand like what was the whole point. And like you said, you know, people look for your weakness and your strengths, you know what I mean? So he
Yes.
really did go in on my weaknesses, you know, and he knew exactly what my weaknesses were and really, really, really focused on those. And really, you know, got me to a point where like literally even when I left the relationship, it was, I still had low
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem. I still had, you
That's
know,
horrible.
like, you know, and certain things that I went through that I just wouldn't want
Yeah.
to go through again. But I've
Right.
overcome those. And of course, you know, I wear my makeup if I want to. I wear certain clothes if I want to. I feel good about myself if I want to. He always, you know, he was a little bit older than I was, a lot older. I'm not
Yeah.
saying a little bit, but a lot
Oh
older.
gosh.
And he would always make me feel like, oh, you're younger than me, but everyone says you look older than me.
Yeah.
Like, just really manipulative stuff that was
Mm-hmm.
really awful. But
Right.
coming, going through it, coming out of it, it showed me a lot of stuff. But like I was talking to someone and I said, we all have narcissistic ways. People don't understand. They might not see it, like
Right.
looking for attention, you know what I mean? Attention
Mm-hmm.
seeker, um
Absolutely.
that's a narcissist. They want attention all the time, and it's not attention like, hey, look at me. No, attention is, hey, I need you to tell me I'm sorry. I need you to say, are you okay every day? Like, are you going through something, or
Mm-hmm.
just putting your business in everybody's shoulders. There's narcissists where they're manipulative. You know what I mean? They'll tell you any given lie and believe that
Yeah.
lie, and or say things
They make
about you
you look
that are,
like the crazy one. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
They will
exactly,
go out of their
exactly.
way to be like, no, you're the one that did it. You're the crazy one. And I know people are going to come for me on this one, but it is commonly found, manipulative behavior is commonly found in men. Don't come for me. That is, those are facts. Not all women can be manipulative too. And there's a lot of women that are. Commonly it's found in men. Why is this? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist or, a therapist, so I don't know why. But it is commonly found in men. And men are the ones that, you know, manipulate in letting making you look like you're crazy, like you're the crazy one, when they're in fact the ones that are with the behavior that's not intact with others. And I'm not saying all men, but the majority of the men have experienced that. And also men have experienced that with women too. There are some women that are manipulative, um, narcissists, everything in the agenda that a man is. So it's not only men, but commonly it is found in men, which is pretty sad.
No, yeah, you're right. And I think a lot of it too to do with that is not taking responsibility for their actions and knowing when they're wrong and saying, "Hey, I'm wrong." It
That's
goes
the
back
first
to the
step.
ego stuff. It goes back
That's
to the
the first step, taking
egotistic.
responsibility for your actions. Um,
um being egotistic, being,
yes.
whatever it is. Yeah, it's a bunch of things. And like you said, don't come for us. There is women out there too that I know that are narcissistic. They're out to get what they
Yeah, of
can, and
course, there is a
lie
lot.
consistently and said,
A
"Hey,
lot.
that's not me. I'm just out to treat the men like the
Yeah.
men treat women." So
Yeah. Which is,
yeah,
that's a
there is
sad,
it's
that's
both
sad. I
ways.
think it's sad. I think it's
you
sad that
know
women have that perception that, oh, a man treated me like shit. I'm gonna go ahead and treat this man
the next person.
that you just met, and trying to get to know, that you're gonna treat him like shit because you were treated like that. I think that that mentality is not good at all. Because
Yeah.
even though I went through what I went through, how am I treat, you know, the person that I'm with or the person I'm gonna be with like shit because I went through something, because somebody else did that to me. That's not fair to that other person. It's not. Because then if you're going in it with that mentality, you need to get out. You need to get out
Yeah.
quick, really quick, because it's gonna come crashing down. It's gonna come crashing down.
And there's also women that are self-sabotagers. They go into a relationship just self-sabotaging as well. And I'm not gonna lie, like I have some of those intendities. So
Yeah.
it's just, after being, I think not just me, but I mean after just being hurt or whatever, you
Hmm.
basically feel like everyone is out to hurt you, not no one's else is the same.
Yeah.
And then you come across a good person that's not like that, and you're like, nah, when is this person's
Yeah.
real personality gonna come out? When are they really gonna
Yeah.
come out and show their real colors? And you're just automatically self-sabotaging it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, the self-sabotaging is also narcissistic, is a narcissistic trait that I have, that I mean, not another one, but I know that is because
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, just show me the true colors, because like they say, all men are the same, which if they're not, don't come
They're
for me.
not. No.
Don't come for me, but
Yeah.
they're not. And you're
They're
just,
not.
as a woman that's been hurt in their life, you're just waiting for that true color to come out. And some do show their colors and say, and you're like, that's just what I've been waiting
Some
for,
show them, some show their true colors in the beginning, and that's why we call them red flags.
And
These
see,
red
and
flags
with
will
the
come and haunt
narcissist,
you
they
at the
don't,
end.
you know.
Some of them do. Some of them do. I mean, we're probably gonna be overlooking those red flags because we're like, oh, we like them, or we're so into them that, oh, he didn't really mean that, or she didn't really mean that. Yeah, they did mean it. And if they're doing it in the beginning when they're really nothing to you, uh, yeah, I wouldn't even wipe that up, or, try to do any of that, or go forward with the relationship, because for what? If they did it in the beginning when they're just getting to know you, yeah, it's not going to work out. Trust me. It's not.
Yeah.
That's just the way I
Yeah.
see it. That is solely my opinion, guys. My opinion. I know everyone
Yeah,
has their
this
own
is just our
opinion.
opinion. And like I said, the
Yeah.
experiences I went through determined, like later on in life, which I had to overcome. But it did determine and affect the relationships that I came. Because like I said, I was just after being manipulated and being with the narcissist for
Yeah.
7 years, you know, it's like the next one I was just waiting for her to sit there and say, like, okay, when is your true colors going to come out?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they would tell me, like, why are you self-sabotage? And I tell people, I'm a self-sabotager. I might not, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time, but,
No, but
but,
are you going to change that? Are you going to change that perspective? Like, if you
it's
meet
really hard.
someone,
Like, the person that I talk to, like, been there for a long time. Like, like, I'm not giving up on this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't care what I do. And I've done some narcissist stuff to him. And I
that's
realized that,
horrible.
yeah,
That's
it is.
horrible.
It is. And I apologize and I say things and I learn from my mistakes. Look, we weren't born with the book. You know what I mean? We learn as we go. We learn through experiences. We learn. And there's some people that don't, but I do.
Yeah.
I learn through my experiences. I learn through the things I go through in life. And, and I just want to make a better version of me.
Yeah,
You know what I
of
mean?
course.
So so the obstacles and triumphs and troubles that I go through, it's just to make a better version of me. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with anybody else. And and I don't like
Hmm.
the fact that I'm not going to take someone on a string and just, take them on a road
Right.
trip with me and just, go through this bumpy roller coaster ride because of the things
Hmm.
I'm going through and the
Yeah.
situation that I'm in, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to find the better version of me. And, and the person who sticks along that ride or journey is going to get the best version of me that no one ever got. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And that's just, the way it is,
Is that something you tell somebody like when you first meet them that you're struggling with that?
Yeah, I
You
do.
know,
And I
yeah.
do tell
It's
people
always
that. And
good
I
to
do
be
tell people
honest
that.
like that because like so like that they can understand where you're coming from. Because
Yeah.
they might feel like that's a red flag.
Yeah, I know. I really do tell them, like, look, this is just who I am. This is my
Hmm.
tendencies that I'm going through. These are the things that I'm, struggling with. And, I mean, and I've never had anybody run off on me like, no, girl.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
it's the respect of me being honest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what I mean? And I tell everybody I'm not looking for a marriage right now. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for, my happily ever after right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? It might, I might find that person,
You
but,
just might
you know,
if you work
but
if you work on your little
myself, my bad
yourself,
habits.
your way of thinking
But but
sometimes.
I'm honest. I'm not out here just to
That's
fool and lie
great.
to
That's
people.
the
You know
best
what I mean? I'm an
policy.
honest person. I
Yes.
believe in honesty. I believe in, letting, I have friends that I talk to and I tell them like, hey, this is what it is. This is who you get and who you get
Yeah,
and who
of
you see in
course.
front of this camera is who you get outside this camera.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of growth, and the growth comes from,
it
I
is.
grow from just, tragedies and triumphs that I've been through, relationships that I've been through. I've been really, really, really hurt by a certain, baby daddy, whatever you want to say. But,
Yeah.
and once that happened, I felt pain for the first time going through
Hmm.
love. You know what I mean? And once you find you have pain like that you've dealt with, it's really hard to give your whole heart to somebody that you're just not ready to see where it's
Right.
gonna go. Some people fall in love
That is
quick.
true.
I'm not the one to fall in love quick. So I apologize to everybody for that. I don't.
No, not in a week.
No, not even in the 2 days. I can't
I'm
be like,
kidding. I'm kidding.
it takes time. You know what I mean? And I'm not a materialistic person, so I don't need you to bring me roses. I don't need you to,
Yeah.
send me love songs. I'm not that girl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't need you to take me out on dates or to the movies or do all that. I could do that. And that's the problem I got is like, whatever you could do for me, I could do for myself, and I need to stop doing that. You know what I mean? Um,
Exactly.
but
I feel
um,
like with me is always trust, loyalty, and good communication. Those have always been my three. If you don't have any of them three, there's no sense of, pursuing anything because I feel like it's just gonna fall down. I mean, trust and loyalty is that already is enough is a big thing for people nowadays. So imagine three of them, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Good communication because you have to be able to communicate with that certain person. If something, I feel like, and I see this a lot too, a lot of relationships, um, they're quiet, like, oh, I'm not gonna tell them, or I'm not gonna tell her because she's gonna be mad, or maybe she's not gonna like, I do not care. This is me. If something is bothering me, I'm gonna tell you because I rather it take it out of my chest. We talk about it and move on instead of it lingering there. And then that's just gonna, I'm gonna be holding grudge. I don't do that well. No,
Yeah.
I'm for one, and that might be a big flaw from me, by me. But I just like to talk about it and clear it out right there.
That's
Which,
communication. That's the way to have a relationship because
yeah,
you're a mind reader. So a man is not gonna
exactly.
read your mind that you're pissed off about something. He's gonna be like, okay, you're mad. Okay, that's
Right,
on. You know what I mean? And
right.
you're like, why are you not caring that I'm mad? Okay, there's something
Yeah.
missing in between this puzzle. But no. But I really think, like I said, a lot of us have narcissistic ways.
Hmm.
We just gotta recognize them and work on them. Like I said, I know what mine is, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to
Yeah.
say it. I'm not, I'm not a
You
manipulator
are
and all
very
that deep
outspoken, so
stuff.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So, like I said, I know what it is. I know, and I apologize to people for sometimes my behaviors that I act when they do come out,
Yeah.
especially to someone I know I care about. I try not to, do it to people I care about. I just do it to people that I'm in a relationship
Hmm.
with.
And
I,
that is sad.
but
That you have to
but
do
my friends and all
something
them, I'm not. I'm honest. I talk to them
right.
loyally. You know me very well.
Yeah.
And I would never, you know what I mean? When I'm your friend, I would never, I would go above and beyond for you as a friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no matter what you need me, I got you. If I can, I got you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just who I am.
Which
But when
that's a
it
good
comes to
quality. That's a great
relationships,
quality to have.
and when it
Hmm.
comes to relationships, that's when it kicks in. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
the walls, the brick walls, and the boundaries you got in the wall climbing you got to do to bust this down. It's a lot, and and
Hmm.
and I tell people, I'm sorry. It's not like I really want to be like this person. I'm just self-sabotaging, which I need to stop. Is
Yes.
waiting for test the waters and see. Okay, when are the real true colors gonna come out? Are
Yeah.
you gonna be that one that's gonna ignore me when I want to call and talk to you about something? You know what I mean? Just little stuff. And then when it does happen, I'm like, that's it. That's it.
I
And
don't
I
know. I
can't be
feel
doing
like
that, and I know
you
it.
never know. You're not gonna know until you're in that relationship. You know what I mean? I mean I know it sounds cliche, but you're just not gonna know until you're honestly in that relationship. I mean, and that's why they say you should always listen to or even look at how a person treats you, because that's how they're going to treat you in the future. If they treat you like that now, that you're just like getting to know each other, boyfriend and girlfriend, then they're not wife or husband material. That's just with me, because that if they do it now, that's how they're going to do it in the future. So make sure all the qualities that you want, you you have them now. You know what I mean? When you're getting to know that person. And
Yeah,
all them red flags that pop up in the beginning that are narcissistic ways, cut them off. Cut them
yeah,
off quick, because
yeah,
it's not going to go anywhere. It's just not.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, like there's people that I know that are manipulators. I'm like, how could you do that to somebody? Like, how can you sleep at night? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that you're manipulating people. Like, I just can't. And I know it's crazy is because I cannot be around somebody like that either. um I don't defriend them, but I just keep my distance and say hello from over there. You know what I mean? From
Right.
distance. Because I'm not that way, and I don't want to be around someone that's way. And some people think it's okay. That's just their personality. That's just
Yeah.
their ways. But you know,
We
I
all
just
grow,
can't.
we all evolve. It's just the way it is. I mean, some not for the good, unfortunately, but we all evolve and we all grow at a certain point in our lives.
Right.
Hopefully it's not too late in your life, but yeah, we all
No, like
end
I
up
said, I work on myself like all the time. You know what I mean?
yeah, of
I
course.
recognize my fault, my flaws, and my goods and my bads. You know what I mean? And I try not to. I'm working on those bads. You know what I mean? And I try not to
Hmm.
bring out those flaws. And it took a long time. Like I said, it took two therapists, but it
That's
took a
okay.
long time. It took a long time. It took decades. I just,
That's
it
okay.
it is what it is. And
Hmm.
I'm not a perfect person. I wasn't born with the book. You know what I mean? I can't just scroll through the page and say, okay, if I did this, how do I am supposed to act? You
Nobody's
just learn as
perfect
you
though. That's
grow,
what
learn through triumphs,
nobody's
tributes.
perfect. Yep, nobody is perfect. So we all come with flaws. I don't care what nobody says, we all come with flaws. I have 100,000 flaws. Everybody has flaws, and we work with them accordingly. Every day I'm working on myself. Every single day I'm working on myself. Um, so every day we work on stuff that we want to change, that we want to evolve, that we want to grow. So nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? So it's gonna take time. Um, so with that said, when you meet someone, you want to be able to enhance those flaws. You want to be able to look at that and say, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to do this with this relationship because that's what failed with the last one, or this is what they did to me in the last one. So how do you deal with that if you're gonna meet somebody?
I don't know. It's really hard because, like, I don't know about, I'm just speaking for myself, you guys. I'm not speaking for every woman. I'm just speaking for
Yeah,
myself.
of
So with
course.
me, it's like I said, I talk to people. I'm a very observant person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm a very observant person. I like to watch and see and look at people and see how they react with other people, see how they act with me, see
Yeah.
how, you know what I mean? I'm just a very observant person. Now, will I cut them off as a friend or anything? No. But will I keep my distance? Yes.
Yes.
I like to see how people interact with other people and how they,
Yeah, of course.
because of the fact that if they're gonna treat that person a certain way, what makes it sound any different? And it's always became
Yeah.
true. That's just crazy. It always became their real true colors came out. And as a relationship wise, same thing. A lot of people I mean, I have a lot of guys that want to talk to me just for the, you know what I mean? Like,
That's horrible.
you know what
Like
I mean? And I'm like,
we're in
I'm not
2023.
out
We're
here
past
for
that.
that. So,
Yeah.
it's hard, you know what I mean? And I don't just be with anybody, you know what I mean? But that's one thing is a red flag for me. If you're just, just talking to me for certain sexual pleasures or whatever, like that's not going to go nowhere.
Yeah,
Period, point blank. You know what I mean? That's just
definitely.
gross to me because of the fact that if you do it with one, you're doing it with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it came off so easy. You know what I mean? So, and two, like I said, I'm a very observant person, like how you talk, how you, speak to, about yourself. Now we got social
Hmm.
media. This ain't the only platform. You know what I mean? There's so many other platforms that are like TikTok that people are on
Hmm.
different platforms. And thank God, the person I was talking to was not on social media because I don't think I can have a relationship with someone on social media. It's just, I don't know, it just,
Why?
I don't know. I just don't think I can.
I mean, I
You
think
know what? I'm gonna
everybody
be
has
honest.
social media.
So I think because of the fact that I've seen a lot of things like relationships fall when they start social media. You know what I mean? Like I had a friend that was, and this is before TikTok. This was barely just
Yeah.
Facebook and
But
Instagram.
that's,
You know what I mean? And literally got divorced because of
hmm,
social media. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's an open free space. You know what I mean? So you meet a lot of people now. Look at TikTok. It's a wider platform than what Facebook and Instagram used to be. You know what I mean? Facebook and
hmm.
Instagram had a lot of people and maybe that you knew or people from back in the day, or you know what I mean? You meet people like,
But I
but
think
this
that has to do with the
platform, you meet
person.
people everywhere. You know what I
But
mean? And
that has to do with the person too, you know what I mean? Yeah, it is.
of
It has
course,
broken a lot of marriages, but I feel like even if I have social media or my husband has social media, it doesn't matter. He can have all the social media he wants. It's about the respect. It's about how he carries himself. You know what I mean?
right.
It has to do with the person. All these marriages that have broken up because of media, it's not social media, it's them. It's them. It was them all along. Because in reality, social media breaks up relationships. That sounds so cliche, but I mean, it's actually the person. Maybe your
No,
marriage is already
that's
crumbling. You know what I mean?
100% correct.
And maybe it wasn't there and you didn't talk it out with your partner, and now you have social media and somebody else came in your DMs and be like, oh, you're so pretty or you're so cute, and boom, they got you. No, that's being weak-minded. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just my
No, that's
opinion.
true.
You have to be strong-minded. You have to be strong-minded, and you have to know that if they're doing it in social media to you, they're doing it to 20 billion other girls.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I don't do social media dating
Yeah.
platform thingy or whatever. Like,
Hmm.
you know, I
Yeah.
have to I have to know the person in full sight so I know exactly who they are,
Hmm.
how they, because sometimes you meet them and they're a whole different person than they with their on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens a lot though. That
Yeah.
happens a
So,
lot.
but
So
as
with that
as
with that said, um, now that you've dealt with a narcissist in your life, you see the red flags if you meet someone else, right? Do you or is it something that you just
It's very hard because I found myself in
how?
a certain predicament where the red flags were there and I ignored them. You know what I mean? And they were a narcissist. Again, there's so many different types of ways that people are narcissists. You know what I mean? It's not like one type. I came across, I talked to somebody that was the sweetest person in the world. They were the nicest
Hmm.
person in the world, said the best, you know what I mean? They were just, and I was like, oh shit, they're cool. And then bam, it came out. They were just too much to handle. They were eventually became, lying. And then it was like,
Yeah.
they were attention seekers. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's the
All that
worst.
stuff
That's
came
the
out
worst.
later, but I did not
That's
know
the worst.
until after the fact, like a month later. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Until
So
things
guys,
came up
look
and then
out
it
for
was,
those signs. Look out for all them signs that she's talking about. They're all big pointers. They're
and
all
it
big
was
pointers.
just,
And we're
and
never gonna
everything
know,
was
but
me, me, me. Like, you don't see my point of view. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah,
and, well, I'm going through some, okay, well, what are you going through? You don't pay attention and you don't care because I'm going through, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is too much. That's
yeah.
it. I just back up like, this is too much. You know what I mean? But
But it's good that we could, it's good now that we could link to that and we could gravitate to what the red flags are now. Don't you think?
yeah, but
It's a
like I
little
said, it's
easier now
still
that
kind
we've
of
been
hard
through
because
it.
there's different types of people with different type of narcissists. Like you guys wouldn't think like the way I am that I felt like I just opened to you about mine. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't even think like I
Yeah,
was that type of person. But that's in
yeah.
relationship wise. You know what I mean? It's not friendship. It's
Right,
not
right.
anything else. It's just with being in a relationship. Those are my toxic. You know tendencies that I need to work on. But yeah, but
Your
there's
red
some that
flag,
I
your
don't
red
think they
flag.
show right away. They could be the most lovingest person, and then it just clicks to be, you know,
And
manipulative.
guys, that's not something that somebody's gonna show you the first week they meet you. That's not gonna happen.
And like I said, with
I
my
mean,
relationship, he
it's
was such
not.
a good person. Like, oh my God, he just honestly, I'm not gonna lie, he lifted me high off my feet where I was in the clouds. Like I thought I was just, Miss Thing, and you know what I mean?
Oh my
And
God.
it got to the point where it was manipulation. Then it got to the point where it was abusive. You know what I mean? Like not physically, but also mentally.
It just
And by
gets
then
out of
it was
hand.
just to the point where there was no way out. I never thought I would leave. I was gonna be there in this miserable relationship where it was like smack in the face, slap here and a slap there because
Yeah.
this person was looking at you, and then I'm over here walking around with my head down, like, you know what I mean? Like it was
Hmm.
crazy. And
How
it
about
was
for all them
he
people
would
that can't leave that relationship because they have a hold on them, you know? How about for all them
because the
people that
the
can't leave?
manipulation is so good. Girl, it is
Yeah.
so good. Like some people are good at manipulating people that are so good. And
They're
every time it
experts,
was
not
never
good, they're
me, it was
experts.
him. But it was always blamed on me. You know what I mean? Like and like I said, it was so hard to walk away. Thank God gave me the strength that I was able to just be gone and not be scared to
Yeah,
leave and say,
yeah,
come for me if you want to. But you know what I mean? I'm not scared of you no more. I'm
yeah.
not, and that was it. But like I said, he had me so high in the clouds that I never would have thought that he would turn out to be the man that he was 2 years later.
That's crazy. That is
Yeah.
crazy. And that's just a different type of narcissist. You know, there's different types of narcissists, guys. It's not anything. Narcissists that are really kind to you and nice and sweep you off your feet, but they're narcissists in other ways, you know. So with that said, I wanna go ahead and you wanna I'm gonna open the comments and see if anybody has any questions. Uh,
Thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Sunday, everybody.
So for the last 15 minutes, we can have questions.
Latina, I don't
Oh,
got my glasses on, so you're gonna have to go ahead.
yep, I got you. My daughter's ex was the same way, and she went through hell.
Yeah,
There's a
it is,
yeah.
and you know what's crazy is because as much people who really love me,
Hmm.
my family, my friends, they can tell you they were all there for
Yeah.
me, and I was just so manipulated and so blind that I didn't believe. And there was times they got me away. I literally left, but I went back a week later, and I didn't know why I went back. I'm like, why am I going
Yeah.
back? You know?
She lost all her friends because of him, even her family. Yes,
Yes,
100%.
I
You will
did.
lose everything, everything.
But you know what? I had the
Which
most
is kind of sad.
amazing, amazing best friends that I had since I was a little girl. Not little girl. We grew up together as teenagers. And
Yeah.
he actually wanted me to fight with one of them. Like actually like fight with
That's
her, you know, not an
crazy.
argument, like fist fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she went up to me and she said, you know what, this ain't you. And she told me, you know, you'll always be my friend, and when you leave him, I'll be here with open arms. And she walked away. And I'm
Hold
not
on, I'm
lying,
getting
we're
too many
still
questions. I'm
best
getting a few
friends.
questions here. Hold on. She lost all her friends. Love the podcast. Thank you. Mr. Kinney, why didn't you leave when you saw the first red flags?
It was 2 years in. And like I said, he lifted me so high off my feet in the clouds. I never seen it until, and it wasn't all of a sudden, you guys. It was the manipulation was not. It was, he had me so high in the hills. And then when he got me away from my family and he got me away from my friends, it was like, I'm the one that's here for you. Nobody else is. You know what I mean? And then it got to be where we were out in public and why are you looking at that person? And why, you
Oh,
know, and then it got to be
I can't do that.
slow but surely. It wasn't at first, and people don't understand, like when you're in an abusive relationship, it doesn't come right away. It could come
Yeah.
a year, 2, 3 years later. It doesn't happen overnight, you guys. They know exactly when to break you to the point where they have you at that moment, that vulnerable moment, and it's just, it's hard.
Yeah, I can't speak on abusive relationship because I've never been in an abusive relationship. I mean, I not physically at least, right? Um, so I can't really speak, but that's good. Listen to her advice. I mean, she went through it. Somebody said my daughter was with him for 8 years and they have 2 kids together. Um, but she's not with him anymore. And that's
Yeah.
good because she has a good family support.
I
They
have
need
two
all the
daughters
support.
from this man, you know what I mean? And
Oh,
he is no
wow.
longer around any of us. I mean, my girls love him, and I don't talk to my girls about my what happened and what I went through
Yeah.
because that's just between, they all my kids were little at the time. None of them can say, "Hey, I remember you with this looking on your face or this
Yeah.
happening to you." So
Yeah.
I was strong enough and brave enough, and to leave when they were little before they were
Mhm.
old enough to see what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good because kids should not be seeing that stuff at all. That messes up with their psyche growing up. Honestly. So that's good, and that's good that they
I'm
had
glad your
your
daughter
support
finally
system.
left. Thank God. It's not easy.
I'm happy to hear that. She said both of her kids saw everything. Ugh,
Oh my
they
God.
have had nerves. One is 10 and the other one is 9. Oh, they have bad nerves. Yes.
Yeah,
People don't understand. This affects
it
kids
affects
so
children. It
bad.
does.
Hmm.
And it was
But I'm
crazy because he was
glad she got to
never
leave.
like that, y'all, with none of my kids. And I had two from a previous relationship that came in, in with me, and then two by him. And he was never,
Hmm.
ever, ever abusive with my kids or my other kids. It was just me. It was just
Right,
me.
right. That's crazy. But I'm glad. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. Um, I'm glad that she left and that she left him because that's not good with 2 kids. No, I'm glad she has your support. And it's hard when it's like your own kid going through that. I mean, I don't know what it is like to have your own kid go through that because my daughter is not going through that, but I could just imagine,
It's
because we
hard for a
tend to
family member
hover
to
over
watch that
our
happen.
kids.
It is very hard for a family member to watch that
Yes.
happen.
That's horrible. So I have another question. My question is for Chinny. So what made you decide that this is it and can't take it no more?
After he broke me for so long, like literally took me out of working, like out of everything. I didn't have anything. I couldn't go to school. So basically, in my mind, I'm like, I cannot financially or be without him unless I do something on my own.
Mhm.
So what I did was I convinced him to let me get a part-time job. And so once I got a part-time job, I ended up getting a full-time job, getting my own car. So the independency was a big help for me. So once I had my independency, like then it was like I'm done. I don't need you no more. Because there was times where, the rent was due or something, and he would leave like the day before, and I'm like crying, like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay this
Wow,
rent? Landlord's at the door. I'm over here hiding. You know what I mean? It was a bunch of stuff. So I
that's
had to
horrible.
get my dependency back. And once I got my dependency back after so long, I mean, we get tired of as being abused. We get tired, you know what I mean? But we're
Yeah.
so broken down, we don't know how to walk away without this other person because either financially, stability, and everything else is a part of it. It was so hard to
Hmm.
walk away, but it was about getting my stability and strength to actually walk away.
Well, that's crazy. She said it was very hard for me, couldn't sleep, thinking the cops are coming to my door to give me bad news about my daughter. I didn't want that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I feel for you because that's the hard thing to go through. It really is. I can't even imagine that pain you went through with your own daughter. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that she left them and she's doing good. And I think that she will always probably need that support system because she
It's hard,
mentally went
especially
through that.
when you're out of that relationship. It's so hard because they
Hmm.
manipulate you so bad. And then it comes back to
Yes.
when you're going through certain things, you're like, damn, he was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, God, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to
Yeah.
explain the manipulate that he did to me and what made me
Hmm.
always go back. And I would kick myself in the behind every time I went back, like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, I know
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then it's good. Let me tell you, when you go back, it's good. Like they'll be like the most amazing person again, for a while until there it is again. It
Hmm.
comes out again, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah. It was horrible.
He used
Yes,
to
and
stalk
she
me.
found herself. Oh, stalking is not good.
Yeah.
Stalking is not good. Um, that's great that she found herself. And it usually takes a lot of time for people to find themselves sometimes, and sometimes it's too late. So I'm very happy for you that she did find herself and that she's doing good now.
Yes, a
I have
support system
another,
is always the best, especially
yeah,
afterwards, because when they manipulate you and take you away from your friends and your family, and the moment that they kind of need you for that shoulder, then it makes
hmm,
them the person realize like, fuck, they were telling the truth. No one is there for me. So the support system is a big thing, you
yeah,
guys.
yeah, of course. I have another question. My question is, for you, Chinny, do you ever think that you would ever date again?
I don't know. Honestly, it's really hard because mm, I don't know. That's a hard question for me to ask. That's a really hard question, you guys.
She will. She's young. She will.
I am not young. I just had a birthday girl. I turned a whole 48. Stop playing. But
That
no,
is young.
honestly, to tell you the truth, like I've been through, like I said, have you guys been in a couple of these episodes? I tell you guys my life true
Yeah,
stories and honest stories that I've been through. And that's just, my stories that I've been through. And as long as, I'm here, I'll give you guys my honest truth, my honest stories, my own, things that I've been through. And I'm not afraid to talk about them because I learned that they've helped me along the way. I know people get they don't like talking about their stories or things that they've
yeah,
been through. I'm very open. I'm very open to answer any questions, and I'm very open here publicly to let you guys know exactly what I've been through and what I've went through, and if I can help anybody else to get out of the situations they did, that's what we're building here. But as for
absolutely.
relationship, you guys, a couple of times, and like I said, I self-sabotage. So as of right now, I need to work on that and work on me,
Yeah.
and just in order for me to love somebody, I need to love me first, you guys, and that's just my
That is
honest
correct. And she's a
truth.
work in progress, guys. We're all work in progress. La Diva 69 said, I'm so proud of you, Chinny.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud of her too because she's gone through a lot of stuff. So, and she's always evolving too, as so are we all. But it's a work in progress, it really is. Any more questions? Do we have any more questions? And you guys, this will be on YouTube later on, so you could rewatch it if you want to rewatch it. And for the people that didn't watch it or coming in late, you can also go on the YouTube. On my YouTube channel is in my bio and watch it there. And if there's not any more questions, we're going to close this episode up. Episode 3, Chinny. Can you believe it?
3, you guys.
3.
Thank you guys so much. You guys could have been anywhere, but you were here with us, and we appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, you guys will hear all our, my crazy experiences. But I mean, the whole point of it is helping out and being around, talking to people, because some of these things I know people don't like to talk to, but going through therapy, I learned to face my fears and obstacles and triumphs face forward. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm glad I'm here to tell my stories, tell a little bit about, I try to save a little bit for another episode, but because there's
one, I think there's one more question
about the same relationship, but a different situation. But
go ahead, DJ Craig.
Thank you guys for being with us on this
I think
Sunday.
he has one more question.
Sure.
Before we wrap up. I'm just waiting for the question. They said I have one more question.
No problem. We'll wait for you.
So while we're waiting for the question, I get so many messages, and some of you I don't get to respond back, and I'm sorry. It's really not my intention. I do work full time. So I get very busy, but always feel free to message Chinny. She's, she'll definitely write back to you, and we'll definitely discuss it. And we'll definitely discuss it. So feel free to write to her as well. I work a full-time job. I'm very busy. So sometimes I don't get to all your messages or answer every one of you.
And sometimes, you guys, I really be bored at work, so I will really get back to you because I can't fall asleep no more there.
She definitely will get back to you. Trust me, she will.
But we do want to do a Q&A, so if you guys have any questions for either or one of us, you can always ask us. We'll answer your questions on live. We're planning on a Q&A question day. So all your guys' questions, we'll shout you out for the question. We'll answer your questions that you have for any of us. And hopefully that'll be coming soon, you guys.
Yeah, make sure you guys message us with all the questions. And who is for, and actually they could just message us the questions like they've been doing, and we'll both answer the question, each one of us. So yeah, that'll be good. So I'm just waiting for that last question. It's from DJ Craig, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Why didn't you leave when you saw the first red flags?
I think I answered that, but I'll repeat it again. It wasn't right away. It was after a couple of years. Like I said, when I went through this situation, like I said, he had me on cloud 9. So it wasn't like right away. It was there. No, it was like, he let me wear whatever I wanted. He was proud to have me on his shoulder. You know what I mean? And
you did answer that question.
Did so much. You know what I mean? And
you got to type it then. I can't keep scrolling up because I'm not seeing it.
So it wasn't right away, guys. A lot of people, and I think that men that are like that, they know how to break a woman. This ain't their first rodeo. You know what I mean? They've done it before in the past to other women.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They know the weaknesses and that's why I think I'm so not vulnerable no more. Yeah, that's why I think I'm just not so vulnerable, and it self-sabotages everything, because I feel like in the back of my head, I think like I was vulnerable once, I'm not going to be vulnerable twice. You know what I mean? It took a long time. Like 2 years is a long time. Like to find yourself in that situation.
It is. 2 years, it is a long time.
So that's why I think I self-sabotage stuff, is because I want to see like how far you gonna be the person that that's gonna take it there. You're gonna be that angry person that gets pissed off always right away, ignore, not conversate, and have that communication. Are you on that I don't care, you know what I mean? I don't say nothing or I don't do nothing because honestly I've learned to cut people off really quick. I think too that's why you guys I'm very I can cut like cut off-ish, I want to say. Just a little cut off-ish. So if I like, if I'm like, I'm watching you, just know, you know what I mean? That's just how I am. Like,
Just know
do I
that she's
get like,
watching you.
just the conversation,
Yeah.
I have. If it comes out, if I can't conversate with you and have a good vibe with you, and it's not about, oh, well, when can I meet up with you? No. You know
Yeah,
what
of
I mean?
course.
I mean, I might play a little bit like, yeah, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, you're not. No, I'm not.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go to my bio, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah, stay positive. And you have anything else to say, Jenny, before we
No, you
leave?
guys, thank you guys for coming. We welcome you
Oh,
guys,
thank
and thank you
you.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming in, spending your Sunday with us for this 1 hour. We appreciate you
Yes,
guys. And you guys have an amazing week. Stay
great
blessed.
week.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Definitely. All right, take care. Bye.